The Kingdom of Hungary Gazetteer, 1877, Dvorzsák. The purpose of this class is to help you understand what a gazetteer is and how it can help you with your research. Also to know how to access this particular gazetteer online, and to understand how to interpret the entries. So what is a gazetteer? A gazetteer is essentially a list of places with various jurisdictions. This gazetteer is split into two volumes, the first one being the alphabetical list of places, and volume 2 containing most of the essential information about each of the places listed in volume 1. Before being able to use the gazetteer, you will already need to know the exact city in which your ancestor lived before it will be of any use to you. So if all you know is your person came from somewhere in the Kingdom of Hungary, you're not ready to use the gazetteer quite yet. But once you do have a town, it will be quite useful as it will explain information about parish jurisdictions and also government jurisdictions such as counties and districts and things of that nature. How do you access this gazetteer? This one is in the public domain and is available online for easy access. The easiest way to find it is through the Family Search Wiki on the Austro-Hungarian Empire Gazetteers page. Let's walk through how to find it. To navigate to the wiki, use the tabs on the top to click on Search, and then come down to Research Wiki. Here in the middle, we can type in our desired page. Here we want the Austro-Hungarian Empire Gazetteers page, so we can just select that. Here we have the page that we want. Notice that it's split into the Austrian Crown Lands and the Kingdom of Hungary. So since we're interested in the Kingdom of Hungary, we can simply scroll down to the bottom. And here we have links to Volume 1 and Volume 2. So when we click on these will bring us to the digitized versions of these volumes through the Family Search Digital Library. So now that you know how to access the entries, how do you interpret them? So again, Volume 1 is a list of all the places in Volume 2, listed alphabetically. So if we were interested in Antalfalu as our place name, notice that there are several places of the same name, so you have to be a little bit careful on which one you want. Okay, so if you don't know more information about your town, you just know that it's Antalfalu, Hungary, you may have to look at all of the entries to see if you can find your person. But hopefully you will already know the county that it's in, and that will help you eliminate some of them. Okay, so we have our location name, and then it's followed by, in this example, the county name and the county number, which is 42. So if you open up Volume 2 of the Gazetteer, you'll see at the beginning there's a table of contents, and we can see county number 42 starts on page 514 of Volume 2. From there, once we find our page, we can look at the next number, which is number 7. So within County 42, it's District 7. So on the right, we see Volume 2 within our County 42, District 7, and then it gives the name of the district at the top. And then within it, the places will be alphabetical within each district. And then 2 is number 2 within that district. Okay. So here's our specific entry for Antalfalu. In parentheses, we see the alternate name for the place. So if you had you looked it up in volume 1 under either of these two spellings, it would have sent you to this same entry. In brackets, we have other place names in bold. These are related places that are associated with Antalfalu or sort of belonging to it under its jurisdiction. Next we have RK, meaning Roman Catholics, followed by the number of Roman Catholics, which is 489, and it's telling us that the parish that the Roman Catholics in Antalfalu belonged to was actually in another town, okay? And it lists the town following the number of residents of that religion. So our AG is going to be for our Augsburg Evangelical Lutherans, and there were 58 of them in Antalfalu, and they also attended church elsewhere. Okay, so again, the place name is of where the church was located is following the number of residents of that denomination. REF is short for Reformed, and there's 30 of them, and they likewise went somewhere else. And then IZR, you can, if it helps, you can think of it as like Israelites, right? And you can think of it as, so these are your Jews, and there are 6 of them, and the synagogue is in the location following the number again, just like it is for the Christians. So let's do another example. So volume 1, we locate our place of interest. We see that it's in Satmar, which is county 45 in volume 2, district 3, and then entry 1. So here we see on volume 2, once we get to the correct county, find district 3, and then entry number 1. So here it's giving us at the top that it's district 3 and then the name of the specific district in bold. So this entry is telling us that it has an alternate name. The RK, remember, is for Roman Catholics, and there were 14 of them. And the parish for the Roman Catholics was located in this other town. The Greek Catholics, there were 25 of them in this location, and they also had to go elsewhere for church. Now this one's a little bit different. The REF, again, is for Reformed, but notice that it's capitalized and in bold. So this means that it has, so the location where we are has its own parish for Reformed. It's, again, giving us 797 residents of this town are members of the Reformed faith. And then instead of telling us, oh, they go somewhere else, it's having it in bold, and that's telling us the name of the diocese. Okay. So they didn't go somewhere else, they had their own parish right in the town where we are, but it's telling us the diocese information too, to be helpful. And then our IZR is for our Jews again, and there are 17 of them, and they likewise go to the main city for the district, and that's where the synagogue is located. So we've talked about two examples where the entries in Volume 1 link you right to Volume 2. But now we're going to talk about when you don't have enough information from the original entry that you look at to jump right to Volume 2. What do you do? So here on the left, we see Volume 1. The entry at the top lists a town name, but then it has an equal sign and then another town name. So here, this is just one of those times where we have one version of the town name, but to see the additional information to get us to Volume 2, we need to see the second entry. So that's also going to be in Volume 1. So if we find the corresponding entry, there we see it. And then, so if we wanted to go to Volume 2, it would be very simple. There's only the one entry that it could be. So we would go to County 5, District 7, Entry 2, and then we would have our additional information about the parishes and things like that. Okay. Then there's also the sort of half circle. This one is following a place name, and this one is not necessarily saying that it's the same place. It's more telling us that it's included as sort of a subordinate of the place following our little arc. So when we look at this one, again, in Volume 1, we're going to try and find the place. If we find it in Volume 1 here, we see that this one is now showing us to one of those equal sign entries. So we have to look it up again under that place name. So here we are, and now finally we have enough information to go to Volume 2. So sometimes the entries in Volume 1 are very quick to get you to Volume 2, and sometimes you have to sort of go on a little hunt to find the entry that has the full information, such as this one, where we had to look at a couple different versions to get to where we need to be. Okay. So those are the main ways to use Volumes 1 and Volume 2 for the 1877 Gazetteer.